Hello, it's Friday, and that means it's just about time for another guitar tip here on the Guitar Tips channel. I'm your host, Adam Levy, and today's guitar tip is position yourself. Two of my favorite guitar books are Mick Goodrick's The Advancing Guitarist and Wayne Krantz's An Improviser's OS. And I will include links to both of these books in the description below. Position playing is covered in both books, but from two really different perspectives. In Mick Goodrick's model, a position encompasses a 6-fret span. So, for example, if you're at the 5th position, now I realize this guitar has no dots, but here I am at the 5th fret. 5th position means anything that happens at the 5th fret will be played by your first finger, anything at the 6th fret by your second finger, and so on. So you really have this 4-fret span, but in Mick Goodrick's book, he talks about how it's, you can also reach out here with your first finger, and you can also reach forward with your pinky. And that allows for full chromaticism, because with a total span of 6 frets, you can really play any note that you want to. And it even gives you sometimes some alternate fingerings where, for example, this is a D sharp. You could play it here, or you could reach out and grab it here, depending on what you're trying to achieve in the musical passage. Now, Krantz's concept is more austere. 5th position in his book, An Improviser's OS, it just literally only includes the notes playable at the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th frets. So, for example, when you're playing an E major scale in 5th position, you would have no C sharp in this lower octave. You wouldn't be able to get it on the 6th string, and you wouldn't be able to get it on the 5th string. So if you started an E major scale on the lowest possible note in this position, that would be A, and you go A, B, you have to skip the C sharp and go straight to D sharp, E. You also can't get this F sharp, so you're going to go straight to G sharp, A. You can't get it a B, so you go from A to C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, no G sharp here, and A, B. So it doesn't exactly look like an E scale, but it's all the E scale that you can get in this position. And there's there are hiccups in the scale in a way. If you improvised around with that, that might lead you to some interesting and atypical melodic choices. Some scales will be easier to get at all the notes. For example, if you're playing an F scale in 5th position, no problem, you can get all of it. But an E scale is different. So what I would do is explore both of these approaches and improvise your way around a single scale in a particular position, spending a little time in the Mick Goodrick way where you can reach out, and a little time in the Wayne Krantz way where you can't reach out. And, find, are there any clear advantages to either approach? Are there any disadvantages? And, getting to know both of these systems will help you truly understand and appreciate the guitar's unique layout. And, putting it into practice, I've just got a metronome clicking at 80 beats per minute here. I'm just going to improvise a little bit. So if let's say we'll be in the key of C, and we'll use some Mick Goodrick stretches. I'm just going to mess around here. So you saw I stretched out for that B. Why wouldn't you get the B over here? I guess the idea, at least in Goodrick's book, is that you don't want to have this finger have to play 2 notes in a row. So by playing the B here, you have 1 finger on each note. Now that doesn't mean that you never want to do that. That's nice for a glissando effect. You can slide into it. But if you're trying to articulate each note, you want to avoid doubling up on either side of this with your stretches. Now let's improvise, say, in the key of E, with same position, fifth position, but in the Wayne Krantz model, and that would look like this. I'm going to play an E low note, so you just have this in your ear. So. Now I'm going to stop right there because I did something that you may find yourself doing in this model, which is that if you want to play a melodic passage that goes, say, of course you can't do that in this way of thinking, but you could play, so it's broken up by an octave. Instead of going B, A, G sharp in one octave, I'm going to go B, A, G sharp and split it. And your brain might stop and say, wait a minute, hold on, that's not the same thing. And of course it's not the same thing, but you may learn to play some melodies that are broken up like that, and that might be a really interesting and cool thing to do. So check it out, check out both of these books, and for sure just pick up your guitar and play. Don't think about it too much and let your brain get boggled. The main thing is to put your fingers on the strings and start improvising and exploring and experimenting, and that's really how you figure this stuff out. Again, this channel is for my weekly guitar tips series. I post one each Friday. You can subscribe to see them all. You can share them with your friends. You can, they're yours to do what you like with. I also wanted to mention that I have been doing a lot more online teaching lately through Skype and FaceTime. And if you are interested in a one-on-one lesson, you can write to me at lessons@adamlevy.com. Lessons@adamlevy.com. So thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next Friday for a new guitar tip. Stay tuned and take good care.